Are going to learn about adding backgrounds to Adobe Photoshop and also to your specific photos. Adding in background is like quite popular, okay, nowadays, because you can change up the background in your photo even though if it's not there, or even though the background of the originally taken photo is not specifically what you want it to be. Okay, so I'm going to show to you how you'll be able to change or edit in your background by using Adobe Photoshop. So first off, what you're going to do is going to be opening up Adobe Photoshop, and you will see that an interface like this will appear up. Okay, you can also use the newest version of Adobe Photoshop, which I'm going to suggest because it's going to contain a lot of new tools, a lot of bug fixes, and also, the full functionality of Adobe Photoshop has to offer in your latest era or your latest year. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is going to be opening up a photo, or you can also click on new file and make up your own background and start from scratch. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in background or edit the background in specific photos. Okay, so I'm gonna do is select on this photo because I already have it. So click on the photo, or what you can do is just click on files, go to import, then you will see an interface like this will appear up. Then you can select wherever you have your photo and then just select the photo and press on open. Okay, that is how you'll be able to add that. Then what I'm going to show you is going to be adding or selecting the part which you want to change. Okay, as you can see that this photo has this sky over here, but I want something else on this layer. So first things first, what I'm going to do is use the magic brush tool. First thing I'm going to do is click on this option, and you will see a couple of these options have appeared up. So the tool which I'm going to need is going to be the magic brush tool, which you will be able to find it from here, the magic wand, which we also call. So what I'm going to do is click on the background or select the background. Now you can see that the background or the sky has been selected. Now what you're going to do is you're going to be clicking on this option, which is called add a mask. So I'm going to do is click on this, add a mask, and you can see that this is how it actually looks like. But what I'm going to do is do the inverse of what it actually is. If you want to inverse it, click on this photo and you will be able to see that you'll be able to add effects. But what I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this option again. You can add in layers, but if you don't want that, just press on Ctrl Z. So what you're going to do is do the process again of selecting the background which you want to delete. So I'm going to do is select this part right now, or whichever part you want to keep. So what I'm going to do is do the same process. I'm going to select the sky first, and you can see that it has been selected. So I can press on Ctrl X or Ctrl C and then copy it wherever I want. But if you want to completely delete it and change in other backgrounds, so what you have to do is select the part first. I'm going to select on this part, and you can see that it has been selected first hand. Now what you're going to do is going to be invert this, okay? Or you can do all of these options, or use different type of tools which are available over here. So what you have to do is click on this and then press on Alt, and now the other part will be selected. Then press on add in a mask, and now you can see that this part has been added. So you can press on Alt and then select the other part. Okay, so I'm going to do is click on this option right now, click on Alt, press on this part, and you can see that this part only remains. So I'm going to do is add in another layer. So I'm going to go to that part, do is press on Ctrl Z, this part too. Let's say I'm going to first off select this part, and then I'm going to do is go on to that quick selection tool, select on this part, whichever part you want to use. You can see now it has been selected, all the parts. Now I'm going to do is click on this option, and you can see that the background has been removed. Now if you want to add in a new background, what you have to do is go onto this file tab. What you're going to do is find this option called place embedded. Click on that option. You can see that this interface will open up, and you will be able to select the photo which you want to keep it as a background. So you can see that my photos are over here on download. So I'm going to do is click on that photo, click on place, and you will see that this photo will appear over here. So I'm going to do is first off resize it, or wherever I want to keep it. So I'm going to do is keep it something like this. And now as I'm done, I'm going to do is click on outside, and that will be done. Now as you can see that the photo which I embedded is now on top, but I want that to be on the background of the previous photo, which is this layer 0. So what I'm going to do is going to be clicking on this and then dragging it right below it, just as we do the process in, let's say, Microsoft, like PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, and all of those. It's kind of like using the selection pane. Okay, now you can see that my background has been added, and yet the first photo remains over here. But if you want to like add in a couple more of details, what you're going to do is click on these options. Let's say not this part. What you can do is add in more layers, and you can see that this part has been removed. So what I'm going to do is Control Z and select the parts which you want to click or like select. So I'm going to do is select these parts instead of the first part which I selected. What I'm going to do is Control Z, and I'm going to do is keep that part to be untouched and keep the other parts of the photo which I actually need. Now you can see that all the parts has been selected except for this part. But even if you see that this part has been selected, you can use the tool of, remove it by selecting on this tool and then, like object selection tool, and then select the part which you don't want to keep. Okay, and then you will get a perfect result of adding in the background by using Adobe Photoshop. So hope you understood everything about this lesson about how to add in background or change the background and edit like Photoshop, and also all the use of the tools which we basically use. And if you've seen my previous videos of how to use the tools like for various purposes, then you already know how to use those, okay, and where to find those tools. So if you didn't understand a part and you found it to be quite difficult, so please let us know and we will guide you through the process. So thank you for watching this video again, and also for staying with us.